Hi, Algebra students. Welcome to the first day of school. Normally, I would be having this conversation with you in class, with you sitting in my desks, but for some of us, that's not possible this year. My name is Miss Wallace, if I haven't had you before. The beautiful thing about this algebra class this year is that a lot of you had me for 6th grade math. And so if I already know you, awesome. That's going to make this year that much better. And if I don't know you, I'm going to get to know you. So I'm just super glad that you're here and you're there in virtual form if you're watching this at home. I just want you to know, this is just a quick welcome video. I just want you to know that my expectations for this year are really that you take responsibility for your learning. This is strange and this is new, and you are some of the first people on a massive scale to take algebra online through the public school system. And so I just want you to know that I'm here, I love you, I'm ready to support you, I'm ready to teach you algebra, but this is going to be especially a year where you take responsibility for your learning. It is up to you to get as much out of this as you possibly can and to keep up with the assignments that we're going to be doing this year. So I need you to be part of the team. We're part of the team. I'm leading the team, but I need you to be a team player this year. Please feel free to email me at any time. It's going to be important, especially if you're watching this at home online and you're completely remote. It's going to be important that we stay in communication this year. Please send me an email today. Just shoot me a message and say, hey, I logged into Schoology. I'm in there. I watched your welcome video. I did the first day's assignments. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're feeling. And that way we can begin that communication. Make sure you keep that up throughout the year, that I want to hear from you. If you want to email me every day, that's fine. You're going to have to give me a little time to respond to some of your messages because I'm going to be getting a lot. But I just want you to know that I'm here to help you. I'm so glad you're taking algebra this year. Remember, algebra is a high school credit class, so you are going to get high school credit for this. So algebra is a little different than any other math class that you've maybe taken. And I love it. I'm so excited for us to get into it. But I also want you to know that most of you, those of you who I know and those of you even I don't know, I know how good you're such great math students, how good you are at mathematics. A lot of you have never had to study math. And I just want you to know that in general, when you hit algebra, because we are in a high school class now, I want you to know that this tends to be the year where a lot of you who haven't had to study a lot for math, you tend to start having to put a little extra time in it. That can feel so frustrating. I was the same way when I was in school. I was really good at math, but when I got to algebra, it didn't come as easy for me. So if you've been a student who you've never had to study for math, you've never had to take math home and do extra practice, I just want you to know, and I want you to be aware, just be ready that you're maybe going to have to put in a little more study time, a little more effort. It's not going to come as easy, but that's okay. It means you're getting into harder and bigger and better mathematics that's incredibly useful in real life. And I'm hoping we're going to get into a lot of that this year. But it is so important, as I said before, that you stay in contact with me. Email me if you have any questions, concerns. You want to, you have just a question that you can't figure out and it feels frustrating. Please, 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 you've got to let me know. You've got to send me an email. You've got to keep me in the loop, especially if you're a remote student. So again, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're in my class this year. And welcome to the first day of algebra. Make sure that you watch the communication video next. So the first thing I want to talk about is your expectations for this course. And I assume that if you are already in your algebra course, you have already clicked on the welcome folder, and if you're watching this video, you have also already clicked on the welcome video. So your assignments will be posted in order, and so you should always work your way down the list in order. So if you're watching the welcome video now, the next thing on the list is syllabus. Now, you can go into the syllabus at any time and click this, but if you want to just watch this video right now, and I will sort of walk you through what the syllabus says. When you get to the screen, you'll notice that the syllabus looks like it's half cut off over here. It is much easier if you go ahead and click the expansion button and you can see it full screen. So all of these different sticky notes contain information about the expectations for your algebra class. The first one is Teacher Info Contact Me, and so if you will click on that first, it will take you to a screen where it introduces my name, and then it talks about how incredibly important it is to communicate this year. This will be covered also in the communication video, but if you want to hear announcements from me, it's going to be very important that we stay in contact, especially if you are remote. So there are links here where you can sign up for remind messages. Now, these will be very short updates. You can get these almost like a text message on your phone from me. So if you click on the remind message link, it will take you to the instructions for signing up for important messages. If you have a smartphone, follow these instructions. If you do not have a smartphone, follow the instructions here on the bottom. This will sign you up for updates, very short updates for me. Sometimes these updates will say, check your email. If you want to go back to the original screen down here where it says slide 8, if you'll click on that, just go back to slide 1, it will take you back to the home page. So I'll go back into the pink sticky note. If you want to receive longer updates from me, of course, you as my student are already on my email list. I already have your email, and I will be sending out longer updates and instructions through email. So make sure you're checking your email constantly. If your parents would like to sign up for email updates, which I encourage because it's going to be much easier for me to communicate with you and your parents if I have their emails, just have them email me or sign up through the link that will be, again, covered in the communication video. So watch the communication video to see how to sign up for parent updates through email. If you need me at any time, or if your parent needs me, email me at kwallace@bvps.org, or you can message me directly through that Remind app. Keep in mind, I've got a lot of students remote, I've got a lot of students in class, and I may not be able to reply instantly. Allow me 48 hours, so an entire day, especially if it's of the afternoon. So that is the way to contact me. If you'll click back, the next thing I want to go over and make sure I go over clearly with you are the remote expectations. So these are the expectations for algebra if you are learning completely remote. Your attendance is based off of participation and submissions in this class. Failure to do so could revoke your remote learning status. It is very important that you take responsibility for making sure your assignments are turned in. Now, does this mean you're completely on your own? Absolutely not. This is why communication is going to be important. So if you have any trouble at all, make sure you're sending me messages, sending me emails. Attendance also includes being present on scheduled team meetings. So if you have a scheduled team meeting on a Friday and you don't show up, this could affect your attendance. So make sure if you schedule one with me that you attend. We'll talk about team meetings here again in just a second. Make sure if you feel like you're falling behind, don't panic. Make sure you email me. We can develop a plan. Also, assignments for remote learning will not be accepted beyond 1 week late. So your assignments for the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday, August 20th through the 21st, those are due on Sunday night. So you also have the weekend to complete assignments. The week ends on Sunday night. So make sure you have everything turned in on Sunday night. The next week will begin on Monday morning. This is when new assignments are uploaded. I will be uploading the agenda every week, Monday morning. Make sure if you are feeling like you're falling behind, make sure that you are contacting me, or else it will be handled by administration. So I will upload all your assignments for the week on Monday morning. You can work through them at your own pace. All assignments are due the next Sunday night. Some assignments have multiple submissions. So make sure you use that to your advantage. Make sure you're paying attention. Most quizzes have 2 attempts. You can attempt, if you don't like the grade you get first, you can take it again. This class is mainly asynchronous, which means you're working at your own pace. There's not going to be a time that you specifically have to do a particular assignment. Again, there's my email. Make sure you're messaging me if you're having any troubles. We will meet on Fridays on Teams. Now, this is not necessarily a scheduled every single Friday, but it is a time where you are going to schedule a meeting with me. So if you've had trouble or if you need help throughout the week and you're stuck, I'll be sending out a schedule of when you can schedule a meeting with me on Friday. So be on the lookout in your email for making sure that you have the information about when you can schedule a meeting with me on Teams. Now, if we are in Teams and we are meeting, then again, I will be sending out an email about this, how to schedule those. First, you'll log onto Teams, and it's on your home screen, on your laptop screen. There is a link. Let me see if I can bring that up. It looks like this, Microsoft Teams. And so that is what you will be using if you're going to meet with me through video chat. Make sure you're on time. It's kind of like the beginning of class. If you've scheduled a meeting with me, it's important that you remain on time, that you arrive on time. Find a quiet place, somewhere where there's not a lot of noise in the background. There's the mute ability for your microphone, so you can use that. There's also chat and raise your hand. Please, if we're talking online, make sure you're not recording or taking any pictures of your computer screen, and stay on topic. I have a limited amount of time to meet with students online on Fridays, and it will be important that we get done what we need to get done. For remote instruction, here are the materials you will need for your math class. You will need your computer and charger, of course, because that is where you'll have all your assignments. You'll definitely need a pencil because this is math. There will be some stuff to write down. A composition notebook. So these are the 50-cent notebooks at Walmart. They're bound together. Sometimes they're wide ruled. Sometimes they're college ruled. You can get one that's spiral bound with metal spirals in it. You can get one that is completely together, that is sewn together. As long as you have a composition notebook, we will take notes. Most of them are about 100 pages. So if you can get one with at least 100 pages in it, this is what we'll be using for our notes this year, as well as scratch paper. Also, if you happen to have loose paper at your house, even better that you can maybe work some problems out, place to work problems out on paper. So those are expectations for remote learning. If you have any questions about that, make sure you send me an email. Now, if you were to switch at some point to in-person, I just want to let you know what's kind of going on in class. In class, of course, we're in class Monday through Thursday. Friday is a remote learning day. Attendance works just like normal. And if you're falling behind in school, of course, same rules apply. You make sure you need to meet with me and develop a plan if you're falling behind in your assignments. In-person students are going to be able to work ahead, just like you all are at home. You can work as fast as you need to, and we might use Friday purely as a makeup day. Just as remote, assignments will not be accepted a week late if you are in class, and if the school were to transition so that all in-person students are also remote learning, then we'll follow the remote learning expectations that I just talked about. Students coming to the classroom will follow the same agenda. You all be doing exactly the same assignments in class or remote. So you're not getting the short end of the stick if you're remote. You're doing exactly the same thing as students in school are doing. Again, be uploading the agenda every Monday morning. Make sure you check in the folders. We're going to work through exactly the same things you all are at home. All assignments are still due on Sunday night if you're in person. And again, they have multiple submissions. The only thing different about, of course, being in school is that you're actually in the classroom. We do have assigned seats in the classroom. You are not to get up. There is absolutely no wandering around the room, getting in people's spaces. We're definitely 6 feet apart in my room. And so there is no getting up unless you have permission. No sharing of any personal items at all. Keeping our desk areas clean. We have to wear masks all the time when we are in school. And we have to stay socially distanced at all times. The only difference in materials if you are at school is you will need your own personal pencil. Of course, you will need your own pencil sharpener, maybe one of those little small twisty ones you can get at the Dollar Tree. There are no community pencil sharpeners this year. Also, will you be using the same composition notebooks in person as you are using in remote? And of course, computers and chargers are definitely something that we're going to be using at school. So if you happen to, those are the in-person expectations. If you were to switch to coming back to school, just know that there are very strict guidelines in place in the classroom about staying distanced from each other. So we'll go back. Let's talk about grading and academic honesty for a second. My grading policy is based on mastery. You are given opportunities, of course, to improve your grades if you are not satisfied with a particular grade. Grades are based on a point system, so regular practice assignments are worth 100 points. Quizzes are worth twice as much, 200 points, and unit tests are worth 300. Of course, a test is worth 3 times as more as a basic assignment. You can check your grades in PowerSchool. Schoology is where your assignments are, but your grades will be in PowerSchool. For any late assignments, again, you should be contacting me. If you're not contacting me, I consider them incomplete and zeros if they are late, unless you have contacted me, of course. Assignments will not be accepted beyond a week late. I think I've said that 3 times now. And if you miss a quiz or a test, it must be made up within the week. Academic honesty policy. Of course, honesty is telling the truth all the time. Here's what cheating means. So there are a lot of ways that you can get answers from somebody in mathematics, or use some kind of software or some sort of app on your phone to just give you a quick answer. This is considered cheating. Cheating means copying or lending any work that is not your own. This includes Google, websites, apps on your phone. Good friends do not ask their friends to lend them answers. So you should not be getting answers from somebody. If someone asks you for answers, then you should tell them, well, hey, I'll help you out. I'll give you some assistance. I'll explain to you how I did the assignment. I'll help you practice so that you can get better at it, but we do not do each other's work for him. Again, the theme of this year is it is your responsibility to take ownership of your learning. And if you're cheating, you're not doing this. Students who are caught violating this, of course, will receive a 0. We'll have a phone conference with your parents, and administration will deal with those consequences. So keep your work to yourself. Do your own work. Make sure you're learning what you need to learn. And this is, again, where if you feel like you are getting to the point where you have to cheat to get your work done, you definitely need to be emailing me and say, hey, I'm not understanding everything. I maybe need to. The SOL and pacing, just some information here for you. It's the topics we're going to learn this year. It's the calendar. It's the calculator. So this is just sort of a reference page for you. And then, of course, navigating your lesson. So this is, well, how do I find where my videos are? Where do I find where my assignments are? And so, of course, you'll be on your Schoology page. Make sure you've clicked on the algebra course. The page should look like this when it comes up. And then you're going to use this weekly schedule that will tell you what and where and how your assignments are. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. So this is the syllabus. These are your expectations. If you have any questions about these, please let me know. You can hit escape to get off of that screen. And you can access this again anytime in the Welcome Course Information folder and by clicking on Syllabus.